Hello, everyone. Welcome to our API webinar today. We're going to start in a couple minutes. Just give some people some time to join. In the meantime, you can check out this first slide we've got here, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Hello, Mike Grant. All my friends are here.
That's great to hear.
Wow, look at this crowd. All right, we got Eric, a couple note takers. It's always funny. We live in the age where your note taker can show up and join the meeting on your behalf now.
We're just crazy efficient nowadays.
That's right.
Well, you're getting all kinds of kudos before the meeting even starts, Jacob.
Oh my goodness, John Sargent.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and start. Welcome, everyone. We've been doing these API webinars for coming up on a year now. So in a couple months, we'll be coming up to our anniversary, I guess. So we've been working hard on this, getting a lot of different feeds and integrations together for you. And we're excited today to announce our API integration with MotoHunt. So before we get started with that, I'll introduce myself. My name's Alyssa Miller. You've probably seen emails from me quite a bit as I'm the marketing specialist with Talon Powersports Solutions. I do the social media and emails. Feel free to reach out to me anytime too if you have any questions. And we've got Jacob Berry on the phone, and he is the co-founder of MotoHunt, and a lot of people already know him as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so welcome.
So we should talk about this first slide, Alyssa. I mean, we got a free ebook that took me a long time to put together, but it's going to encapsulate a lot of what we're going to talk about today when it comes to the used bike game for a lot of you Harley dealers out there using our wonderful new integration partner, Talon. So scan that code and we'll send it to you free.
Opportunity. I'm going to do that too. We'll put it back up on the screen at the end too. All right. I would like to introduce our page in case you're not familiar with it, just to see our status updates on API integrations. So you can see what's going on, who is currently integrated, what different options you have, and kind of the how-tos on implementing it on your system. That's the URL, and this is what it looks like. So when you go here, it will give you an intro on what we've got available and talks about our current info for vehicles, deals, service, and customer data. We will continue to post updates here as well. So this is kind of where you can go to see what's going on. And then also it has a link to our Talon roadmap. And if you're not familiar with that, it includes any updates coming or in the future. You can vote on them. You can make suggestions for API integrations as well as Talon improvements or any ideas that you have. Feel free to use the roadmap, and you can also visit it often and watch the status and see what moves up, what's being worked on, etc. Also on here, you'll see the list of the current vendors now. MotoHunt will be on here right after this meeting, after we post the webinar recording as well. So we have done webinars with almost all of these other vendors already, and there's more to come too. So please watch your emails, watch social media. We'll be posting what comes next. So down at the bottom here, you can see the different recordings that we've done and also a KBA on activating APIs. So hopefully that's at your fingertips, easy to find. It is on our Talon dealer page. If you go into the dealer login, it's going to make me log in, but it's on the first page in the quick links. All right. Now I am going to go ahead and turn this over to Jacob and let him talk a little bit about MotoHunt Premium.
Wonderful. Looks like I've got control. Hi, everybody. Thank you. My name is Jacob Berry. I'm representing MotoHunt today. I'm a co-founder and VP of growth. We started this company several years ago to help out dealers with their inventory. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And I want to address the people that have taken the time out of their day to join this webinar. Thank you. It means a lot to me that you've given your time, which is the most precious thing we can ask for. But I'm going to address specifically the used bike market and inventory control. So if you're interested in buying more bikes and sourcing them from several different places and retailing them, then this is the webinar for you. And obviously that includes our brand new Talon Powersports Solutions partnership. So thank you again, and we'll get started here. All right, so this is our essentials. 2026 is going to be a big year. We are looking forward to a lot of the upgrades that we've made, and I'm just going to show you a few of the most recent ones that our dealers are absolutely grasping, taking a hold of, and utilizing. So good, right? So we found that there's a big problem that lie in many of the dealerships across the country. And they're usually categorized into one or all three of these, which is accurately buying and pricing across multiple tools, multiple brands, and multiple rooftops. They are trying to move motorcycles, more of them, faster enough to protect the profit margin, and they're trying to generate qualified leads from local buyers and private sellers, right? Selling and buying that used inventory. So what we've developed is an arsenal. It's not a tool. I mean, some people call it that, but what we've put together is an arsenal of a whole bunch of different ways that you can do this, and we'll go into it here in a little bit in depth. But essentially, we're pulling in real-time market data from over 650,000 listings from dealers, auctions, private listing sellers. We're helping you manage your merchandising issues like missing photos, map violations, erroneous VINs, wrong titles. We really try to help with how your listing sits on your website so that customers can find them better. We centralize all this visibility into a premium tool suite, which includes a marketplace on top of it. And the best part is for you Harley dealers, it is 50% co-op eligible for all the campaigns on new and used motorcycles listings. So these are some of the pieces that we have within our normal offerings. Premium dealer tools. We have an inventory ad section for your digital marketing. Obviously, many of you know us from our MotoHunt.com listings, which is an online classified listing marketplace. We have Trade Cycle Web Booster, which is an app that goes on your dealer website, collects and grabs all of those trade and purchase opportunities that customers are putting on there. And then we have a co-op department that strictly tries to maximize all of your OEM funds for your digital marketing campaigns. So let's kind of get into it. The bread and butter of what we do is appraisals. Let's just kind of bring that right out to the very top here. So what you're looking at here is a mobile version of our appraisal tools, our dynamic appraisal tools that help dealers stay organized. And if you want to look at this from an evolution standpoint, it's modern, it's fast. Some of these other tools that you're using are a little bit legacy. They haven't really changed. And we just provide a cleaner, faster way to do your appraisals, especially when it comes to mobile. We can say without a doubt, we have the industry's best VIN decoder. It's what our tech guys would call bootstrapped. It's all built from within our own database so that we can source it, manipulate that data, and help it source it to you in any way that we see fit or based upon dealer feedback. And we only work within the Powersports, motorcycle, and off-road industry. What we do is we provide you three main aggregates of information. Comps, which is going to be all of your new, your pre-owned, and your private listing retail sellers. So we show you what those average list prices are, what their mileage is, the age that those dealers have had those listings, and obviously they're clickable so that we can show you all those units one by one. JD Power, that's the book value, kind of the Bible of our industry. We use that in terms of rough, clean, and average retail, and then the wholesale value to show you the shortest time frame of units going through auction, their average value, so you kind of know where your floor is on that. We do also have a really neat exclusive VIN history, and the screenshot to the right there, you can see that on a particular appraisal that we've done on this 23 Ultra Limited, it's been through a couple different dealerships. We're able to show you them when they were new, and you can see on this, the very bottom of that listing, it shows it way back in 2023. We have them going even farther back. We've had it at Teddy Morris's, we've had it at Space Coast, and so you can kind of really get a good historical story on where this bike has been throughout its life. At this dealer new, at this dealer used, and now it's sitting at the auction or sitting in my parking lot as an appraisal here. Okay, so that's the appraisal for a manual appraisal. What I want to talk about now is one of our new features, which is the ability to bring in all of our Facebook Marketplace listings. So dealers have told us time and time again, they want to buy more used bikes. What is the place where you buy the most of? Facebook Marketplace. We've built it so that you can actually use in your MotoHunt tools the feeds coming in from the Facebook Marketplace listings in your local area to sort, filter, and search the bikes that you're hunting for. Now, this is a really easy way, and this is already included if you're a MotoHunt Premium user now. This is already something that we've built right into the tools. And if you want to go and look at them now, if you're already signed up, go for it. It's really intuitive, really quick and clean. But what we're looking for is the tri-glide, right? So we want to search for tri-glides. We've identified that this is a private seller selling it for $27,000. It's got 36,000 miles on it. Looks like a pretty clean unit. When we dive into that vehicle, we're hit with an instant appraisal page where we can check our values. We can click on the Facebook logo to go view the listing on Facebook itself, and we can save that appraisal. Now, once we save that appraisal, it goes into kind of an appraisal list, right, that we categorize, and we keep all of our appraisals in there, which I'll show you on the future screen here. But this is the private seller page on Facebook. As you know, Facebook, they kind of cut off the ability to really do anything outside of it. So all of your organization in terms of messaging, your searching, all that stuff can be found within the MotoHunt tools to keep you organized on which units you are putting offers out there to buy. This is what the appraisal list looks like. So you can see that this is just the top 5 of our vehicles that we are appraising. We've got a couple DMS ROs in there, but the Facebook ones are saved in there as a appraisal that we can go back to. We can see what the customer replied to on our messaging offer. We can work it again, rework the numbers, look at the history, really do everything that you want to do. This is a really great way if you're still currently using an outdated place to store all of your appraisals. Most of them will be manual. We help you source them into all the different ways that an appraisal for a used bike might come into you or where you might find one. So that's Facebook Marketplace. Now let's talk about NPA. So we brought in as well the ability to search and shop and do your homework on your next upcoming run list with your local or national Powersports auction listings. And so this kind of works in the same way as Facebook, if you will. You search the area that you're wanting to look at your future auction run list. Let's just say the first one being San Diego on 12/19. We can search just Harleys. We can look at any other bikes. We can look at off-road and really anything that they've got for sale. And we turn that into an appraisal so that we're doing our homework. We put our top line bid number up there, any expected recon costs, what our expected selling price is. And furthermore, the best part is that once you do your homework in here, when it comes time for the auction, in this case, which is today's auction, we can click that little NPA auction button to go right to the page that this is to be online bid at. So it's a really intuitive way to do your homework previous to the upcoming auction and have all of your stuff lined up so that you know what you're going to bid on for this particular set of bikes that you want. What that looks like in the full auction list, you see that we had our 2 previous Facebook saved ones. Now we've got a couple of NPA auction ones. And right there, I've given you 3 ways that you can do an appraisal. Manually, which is the old-fashioned way, do it with your thumbs on the phone or on a desktop. You can search your Facebook Marketplace, and you can search your NPA auction listings. One of the other ways that we do is with your website widget. So our partners at DPS, also known as Trade Cycle, that is a widget that goes on your dealer website, and it works fantastic. It's very intuitive, it's very clean, it's very quick, and it's searchable. A lot of these other trade online widgets or forms are kind of rigid. Use this drop down, use that drop down. It's required. It's not customizable. Ours totally is. And when a customer completes it on the dealership website, it all flows into your appraisal list. And we now have a 4th way to source used bikes coming into your dealership. To speak a little bit more to the appraisal form, this is what it looks like inside that appraisal. So you're kind of getting the drift that the appraisals kind of have a certain look to it with offer recon, but this one has all of the information that the customer put on that form. It gives them an automated value. It just works really slick. I think a lot of you in this phone call are familiar with Trade Cycle already. And so if you're not a MotoHunt Premium customer, it's just a simple integration between the 2 products, and you now have a way to store all of those in your used bike buying section area. This is what the form looks like. Again, it's customizable, a little pop-out tab. They all kind of work very similarly, but biasly, ours works pretty much the best in terms of high quality. I'm very surprised every time I look at a dealer's account how many consumers visit the dealer website and they give a VIN number and or they upload their own pictures of their bike. To me, that's a high intent customer. That's a guy who really wants to either sell or trade in his bike. All right, and now we're to the fifth and final way that we found an opportunity to buy used bikes, and that's right out of our service department. So with our wonderful partners over at Talon, we've developed a way to bring in customer pay service repair orders. Now, what this does is it gives you a shopping list of all of the service advisor created repair orders that you can shop through. You can look by model year, you can look by model, mileage, whatever. It's going to bring them all into you, and it's up to you on what you want to make offers on. But this is what the list looks like in your appraisal tools, and you can access them, or you can do a fetch, which is, hey, instead of me waiting for it to automatically update, I can hit fetch and it will bring in all the most recently created repair orders. What that looks like in your appraisal page is going to be a 4-tab. One will show the repair order, the other will show the customer, the one will show the unit, but more importantly, the fourth one will show the job. And so this brings in all of the itemized job codes that the advisor put on there: oil change, fork seals leaking, shift shaft seal, whatever the work being done on that particular motorcycle is, so that you can really get a good estimate of what this future recon might be. And in this case, it's $417. So what we do from here is we appraise it. And a lot of dealers, they are telling me through this service process, they're picking up an additional maybe 12 to 15 bikes, depending on the month, of course, and the season. But all they're doing is approaching their customers, and they're either doing one of three ways. They're either calling them or emailing them on the phone with the communication that the service advisor has put in the RO. They are approaching them when they come and pick up their bike and talking to them because they know when they're picking up. Or the most hands-off way is that they are taking a printout of this appraisal purchase offer that we have, and they're stapling it to the cashiered service RO. And so with that, a lot of the dealers, they're picking up bikes out of their service department incrementally that they wouldn't otherwise. All right, so let's talk about the other integration that we have with Talon. So because they also house all of your live active inventory, we have a way to pipe that into your active website listings as well. So if you didn't know, the way that we get your inventory into here is we do 2 feeds, one being your website provider, the other being your DMS. And we're able to kind of tie in all these little different areas of a particular piece of inventory that you would need to know, such as invoice date and online age, the total cost, and then your breakdown of what's been done to the bike during the recon or the build or the prep or whatever's charged to it through your service and parts department. Now with this, I also included an exclusive feature that we have that the other guys don't, which is our issues. Now, this is all going to be about merchandising and just making sure we're CYA, we're covering your A, right? So we're going to tell you and flag certain models that might have a missing photo flag, if you've got duplicate VINs like on the screenshot here. But we also do wrong or bad VINs. We do missing mileage on used bikes, potential map violations on new ones, high and low pricing alerts if you're over or below a certain pricing of our scoring. And then we do a model to VIN mismatch, meaning the VIN says it's one bike, but you've titled it on your website as a different one. We'll kind of take that and go, hey, wait a minute, you might have the wrong model listed here. So super cool feature. We've been doing that for a while, and that's all online digital marketing type strategy for having the best listed units on your dealer website. One of the other features we have with Talon is something that slips through the cracks quite often is that we have vehicles in our DMS, but they're not being promoted live on our website. So because we take both feeds, we match them up in the back end and we go, wait a minute, you've got several units, or in this case, 242 that are not live on the website. Now, I understand that some bikes are waiting on parts, or it's a crash, or something, it's in pieces, whatever. Every bike has its story. But often what we find is that it was a bike that was meant to be retail ready on the website, but it's not because some checkbox got unclicked or something didn't get turned on in the back end. So we watch that for you to go, wait a minute, all these bikes you have on the books, they have a cost associated to the unit, but they're not on the website. And your job is now to figure out why and investigate. All right, so here's another view of what our desktop version looks like. A couple of the things that we do is we always look at the gap between your online age and your invoice date age. And that's really to kind of illustrate how quickly you're moving some of these vehicles from receiving them on invoice to actually putting them up for sale online. We give you all of the pricing in terms of the market, JD Power, ALP, which is our proprietary pricing, average list pricing. We also score it with an algorithm to kind of give you, hey, this is kind of where you're at to market. I know some of the other guys out there, they use blinking red and yellow and green lights. We just use a simple scoring and ranking system. And then obviously we tell you your pricing strategy. So you can see that this one's pointing to a 26% reduction in price on March 2025. That will also be listed in your VIN history. So you can kind of see, if you're discounting a bike as it ages, what your pricing has been on that previously. All right, now we're moving on to the MotoHunt Marketplace. So this is a really great feature that is unique to us. So think about this as a cycle trader type listing service where we list all of your inventory. We get really great traffic, about 1 million hits per month. We provide leads, we provide click-throughs to your website, and we also provide phone calls. All of this data is in your premium tools, and we kind of show you what bikes are performing the best in terms of popularity or VDP views. That's a fancy way of saying somebody saw your website listing. And it kind of paints the picture on how your vehicles are performing on a classified marketing listing service. All right. One of the other unique features that we have as well is the ability to create marketing catalogs. Now, this is the DIY version of it. This is going to be a catalog system that we provide for Google, for Meta, and then we just added TikTok. As you can see, we're always innovating and creating new features as we go throughout the months here. But these are all ways that you can pipe in your live dynamic inventory to your marketing catalogs. Now, if you have somebody internally at your store that does the marketing for you, great. The premium tools, it's no extra charge to access these. You would just have to build out your own campaigns and use them. It's not all that difficult. We have some documentation to show you how. But if you wanted the turnkey service that does it for you, we also offer that as a marketing agency service, and we'll turnkey that 100% for you. These are a couple screenshots of that we can show you. Here's a couple more that are meta ads. This is through our partners at Wilkins, which a couple of them are on the call. What's up, boys? So what we do is we provide OEM type or certain objective type ads. Most of them, all of them include the dynamic inventory along with it, trade, manager specials, VIP demo rides. It's all based upon what the dealer's needing at that time. For Google Ads, this is a version of what it looks like. We've got a search ad up at the top left, and then we've got 3 phones showing the different inventory-based catalog ads that we run. So these are probably the best cost per click scenario you could get with your digital marketing. Pretty cool stuff. Again, this is available right now in your own DIY tools, or you can talk to us about doing this for you turnkey as an agency. One of the other things that we do real well is co-op maximizing. So the MotoHunt tools and the marketplace, that is a MDF co-op approved product. And so we've been able to get a 50% reimbursement for that. But if we're also helping you with your digital ads, we can certainly make those claims for you. We can help you with those, whatever you're comfortable with, and really maximize your funds throughout the year on some of these evergreen or specialized campaigns. All right. So one of the things that we really love about our company compared to a lot of the others is that we have a quick and really great process to onboard. Usually we get your data within and access within the first 24 hours. Our team sets up everything. There's zero heavy lifting from you. We set up your training. If you need multiple one-on-one or group training, we offer all that. And our stellar support team, 24/7. We are here. I'm very active. I'm very accessible. And then, of course, we have free trials if you want to take a look at it. And then, obviously, if you sign up and you're part of a group, we have group rates available as well. All right. So here's a couple of frequently asked questions. I can kind of maybe let the chat do that, but we have Facebook in just about every area. How many users can I have? It's unlimited. If you've got 2 people or 20 people or 200 people, we don't cap you on the amount of users. You can have access to our tools. How many inventory units can we list? Again, it's unlimited. Whether you got 100 units or you got 1,000 units, it's all the same to us. Do we have a mobile app? We have a really great mobile version. So we decided a long time ago the app was not really built for how we want to make our tools. And so we made it browser-based so that it can work on any device with an internet connection, cell phone, tablet, desktop, Mac, whatever. If it's a browser-based computer with an internet connection, it works beautifully. How many customers does MotoHunt have? We are growing strong. We added 100 new customers this year. We're looking to add another 100 or more for 2026 and keep growing and become the premier tool for all of you dealers. How long has MotoHunt been around? We started back in 2019. I officially signed on a few years ago, and it's just been gangbusters ever since. So here's my contact info. Again, my name is Jacob Barry. I'm one of the co-founders here. There's my email, my phone number, and that if you want to scan that to learn some more or contact us, there's a QR code for you. And that's done. 20 minutes, I think. Boom. Alyssa, are you still there?
There we go. Trying to be. My mouse froze. I could not click anything, even my unmute. I'm here.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you so much for that presentation. And if anyone has questions, feel free to post in the Q&A or in the chat, and nailed it. And we will answer them over the next couple minutes. Now, Jacob, can you see the Q&A?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So any questions, feel free to reach out.
Let's see. I don't think there's, well, thank you. Yeah. I don't think I'm viewing the screen share there. Just can you put that back up? Okay, so Charlie asks, what's the average cost for a single source? So our base package, everything that I showed you today, minus a few of the little add-ons, is $399 for a standalone store. But we have group rates, for multi-store signups. Let's see. Jacob Kaplan says MotoHunt will take dealerships to the next level. Thank you. Michael says, can we see used MotoHunt with our service department? Yes. So the stuff I showed you today with the Talon integration, it pulls in all of your service ROs. I know a lot of the Harley dealers like to also take pictures of the bike in the service drive. Yes, that is all 100% going to be, available. All you got to do is have your service advisor hit the refresh button on your DMS poll, and then it's on his app. Basically, he can take 10, 15 pictures or as many as your process allows. And boom, you got full pictures right there on the service drive. Are you working on a full suite CRM? We are not. So we are in the business of inventory management, buying, selling, retailing, marketing. We have really only one focus that we're leaning hard into, and that's inventory, new, used, motorcycles, and power sports. But however, I will say that we do work with all of the CRMs. So because we are a lead generator, we do send leads to your CRM as well as a notification to your team. And, just like any other lead provider would. Is there a CRM that works best with MotoHunt? All of them. Yeah, I mean, there's about a half a dozen right now that we send leads to: DPS, eLeads, Vin Solutions, Traffic Log Pro, Lightspeed. I mean, gosh, there's several. How do we turn on the integration with Talon? I'm glad that you asked that, Rick, because you're going to be my next phone call. It's very easy. You would, I'm doing it by memory now because I don't have the docs in front of me, but you would go to your area where you have your API partners, and you would see our name listed there. And then once you initiate that, there's what's called an API key that you would send to me and my support team, and we would hook it up on our back end. So I'll email you after this phone call, Rick, and we'll get that turned on for you.
See, Chris has hands raised. I can allow a mic if you want to talk.
Rick says, by the way, I love how you have kept this growing. Thank you, man.
Okay.
Since we got a few extra moments here, and I'll just kind of buffer in some more words since we have a few more minutes to go. A few things that I didn't get to mention today was the ability to do NPA direct buys. So I know that's a pretty popular feature in some of the tools that are out there, or directly through NPA. We've built a super slick way that if you've got an appraisal already built in your system on any vehicle, there's a couple required fields that you have to fill out, like take a couple pictures, make sure there's a VIN and mileage, answer a couple questions. These are NPA's requirements. And then with a one simple button click, it sends it over to them and their team. On average, I'm seeing about 10 minutes or so where they'll reply, and it will give you the response right back into MotoHunt. It'll also alert you with an email, but they'll give you your offer right into MotoHunt. It's actually really, really cool. Let's see. Jacob Kaplan says, what trends are you seeing in dealer buying behavior heading into 2026? It's bananas. So many dealers that are sitting on so much inventory. You know how that pricing game goes sometimes. It's very competitive, and I don't really care what you sell in this industry. There's a lot of inventory and less buyers. So the one way that they're combating that is they're buying and accessing more used bikes because they know that's where their profit margins are protected. So Obviously, it depends on season, but even in off season, a lot of dealers are loading up on quality pre-owned bikes so that they can have that offering to their dealers moving into season or the spring, or even now in certain parts of the country. And we've got Rick. Actually, this is for you, sir. So where can I find the certified partners? She's got a screen share up here about how to get to that section within Talon.
Yep, per Trisha's comment, that's how you get to it through Talon.
Yes, absolutely.
And this will be on the website that I showed you as well. I'll add this screenshot so you can see where to find it. And sorry, I just noticed it's typing underneath as I talk.
Got the captions going.
Yes, it's so distracting. So yeah, the KBA is up there, which also has instructions too. Okay, any other questions? Final call?
Where do dealers tend to overpay or hesitate too long when acquiring used inventory? Wow, Jacob, great questions. So obviously it's dealer to dealer, right? They're always going to be biased into what works best in their market. And so the best recommendation I would give you based upon the feedback that I'm constantly hearing is that if you do well in a certain type of motorcycle or product in our industry, that's what you lean into, because you know you can probably overpay a little bit more for it because you have the retail experience to back you up. It's the off-brand stuff that gets a little tricky. So let's say you're a Harley store, which I think a lot of you are, and you buy a Euro bike or maybe an off-road vehicle or something like that, because that was a trade-in that they want to get on their brand new Harley with, right? They got to trade this thing in to get into that. The best way to do that is to obviously use our tools to appraise it, back it up with an NPA direct buy number, so you know exactly what this company will buy it for you at cost, and make your deal happen. And that's a good way to protect yourself, so that you don't get stuck holding the bag on a product that you're just not all that great at retailing. And can I mention one other thing too, Alyssa? We also have a podcast. So for the people who like podcasts and they want to hear me ramble on more, there's a podcast that we put out called the Dealership Fix It Podcast. That's on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. But we bring on guests from the industry to talk about their different ways that they help dealerships. It's not a product pitch most of the time, but thank you, Michael. There's a link for YouTube. But it's something that we're really proud of. We put a ton of work into it because we want to make the power sports industry better. And this is one way that we feel that we can contribute by putting out free content to the dealers. It's specifically for the dealer listener that talks about all these different areas within the dealership that you might be experiencing an issue in.
Great info. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, thank you. What store are you at, Jacob? Thank you for the kind words and the questions. What store are you at? Or maybe we don't want to say on this recording.
It's top secret. You can follow up with them later.
Yeah, for sure. All right. What do you think, Alyssa? I think we've kind of covered it all.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
We will be following up with the recording. I'll send out an email saying how to get to the recording, and it'll be on the website as well. So thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you. Yeah, feel free to call me, email me, DM me, however you want to get a hold of me that you're comfortable with. And if you need any more info, just let me know.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, Chris, to answer your quick question, we can reach out afterwards. Sounds good.